Welcome to CrossYoga Europe. I'm Ria, and I'll guide you through a wonderful Christian power yoga class that will give you strength and endurance. So jump into your yoga clothes, unroll your mat, and let's get started. Find a standing posture, mountain pose here at the top end of the mat. And sorry, the floor is squeaking a little bit. So it's not my body, luckily, saying all these noises. All right, standing tall. And just grounding yourself. So today's practice will be joyful. I like to focus on praising or gratitude, having some fun. Inhale deeply and exhale side out. Let go. You know, sometimes you can choose to let go of all the baggage we have with us. All the things that might pull us down. Maybe we're picturing it, taking it off like a backpack, taking it off our backs and just putting it by the side or putting it into the arms of God, leaving it there because right now is a time of praise and worship. Reach your arms up, fold your hands here and fold all the way down into a forward fold. Starting a little bit gentle. So we warm up the spine a little bit and then I read a passage from the Bible. Bend your knees, chair pose. It's already now getting heated in our quads here. Strong spine, tall spine. And reach your arms up and then throw those arms out. And surrender. Okay, here I am. Willing to give praise even though I might not feel like it. Reach your arms up again and fold forward. Before we go into chair pose, reach up your right arm towards the sky and let it fall down again. Opposite side, left arm. You can certainly bend one knee more than the others. It's all about just moving a little bit. Fingers down on the mat. Chair pose. And then reach up and fold out, cross pose. I like to call it that. Reach your arms up again. Strong core as you slowly lean forward, engaging your abdomen. Fingers finding the floor. Right arm reaches up, maybe on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift. Exhaling, fold forward. Chair pose, inhale. And exhale. Let's do that one more time. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, cross pose. Arms out. Reach up. Fold forward, taking your time. Moving against gravity. Right arm, inhale, twisting. Exhale, fold forward. Opposite side, left. Exhale, fold forward. Chair pose. And mountain pose. And let's shake that out a little bit. So sometimes I meet people who don't understand Christian yoga. And one of the passages that I really, really love, because we use the postures of modern yoga, is this. For everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving, because it is consecrated by the word of God and prayer. It's from 1 Timothy 4. So everything God created is good. Also postures. I don't believe a posture can be in itself be a worship of foreign gods or anything. So let's use those postures with thanksgiving and with prayer. Arms up and again fold forward. Sun salutation, a half lift. Find your plank. You can take it a little bit slow the first time through. Hands down on the mat, spread out your fingers. Just find your plank, core involved. Come down on your knees, elbows pointing back as you lower down. Baby cobra reaching up. And let's lower this chest down again. On your knees, tuck your toes under, move into plank. And then down dog. So a little bit of variation there. Sun salutation A. Jump or walk to the top end of the mat, fold forward. High mountain, arms up. Let's do this 3 more times. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, plank to low plank, jumping or walking back. Inhaling, cobra or up dog where our hip is off the mat. And lower down, exhale. On knees or toes, inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Adjust your stance on 1 breath. Make sure you bend your knees so your spine is straight. Again to the top, inhale. Folding forward, exhale. High mountain, inhale, close your eyes. And bow down, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, coming flat on our bellies. Actually, they did that in the Old Testament as well. Inhaling, cobra or up dog. Exhaling, lower down. Plank, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Again, 1 breath, taking your time. Maybe using your Ujjayi breath just to get a rhythm and your core going stronger. Jump or walk to the front. Fold forward. And again, rise up. Reach up and fold forward. Half lift, inhale. Plank, low plank. Make sure your shoulders are above your fingertips as you lower down. Cobra, up dog, inhale. Lower down, exhale. Using our triceps, plank pose, inhale. And down dog, exhale. Beautiful. Again, walk or jump to the front. And fold forward. High mountain. And let's just throw our arms out in that cross pose I was talking about before. Of course, mindful of your back. And just think of all the things that God created, God's creativity. Just think about all the weird looking animals we find in our world today. Some of them really make me laugh and just think, wow, how did you come up with that idea, God? So God is a creative God, and let's be also a little bit creative on the mat. Now palms together. And let's get more warm, slowing down a little bit. Now I would love to have you gather your toes and knees as much as you can, because we're going to go into chair pose with a twist. So come down. Now your thumbs are somewhat here in front of solar plexus and arms aligned with the floor. Take your right elbow either in between your legs or a little bit out on the outer edge of your leg. Draw your thumb towards your chest and shoulders down, and just keep breathing here. Gauge your root lock. Square of your hip with the short end of the mat and keep breathing. Maybe your legs start to shake, but just stay with it anyway. Last breath. Come to center. Fold forward. Stretch your legs. That was nice. Then lift up right leg all the way up. Open up your hip. Still knee bended. Stay here for a bit, and if you want to go for your half moon with a knee bended, being a little bit more creative, or if you're ready for it, see if you can actually reach your foot there. So half moon with a binding. Keep watching the floor. The standing leg is aligned with the long end of the mat, and we keep breathing. And remember, nobody's creative without making mistakes once in a while, or without falling, or without doing strange things. So you might shake a little bit here as you release, coming down, let go of the foot, lowering it down, warrior 2. Align the top foot there, ankle with the knee, and coming out with your arms, and of course, going low as this is power yoga. So don't be too hard on yourself on the mat as we do some of these somewhat weird poses. All right, your arm stays like this, but we'll move the core. So you just tip back, almost like an airplane flying to the side. Core really involved. Leaning forward, moving the other way. Now this front arm at the outer edge of your leg. How far down can you go? Maybe some of you can reach the floor. I can't. One more time to each side. Going back, hands behind. Core in, root lock, pelvic floor there, tight and engaged, leaning forward. You don't have to look up. You can definitely just look down if you like. Release, both hands down, lift the back heel off, step back. Down dog with a side out. And let's move to plank, but on our elbows, as we will use our arms quite a lot, typically during a yoga class. So let's get those babies a little bit more relaxed. So plank pose. Engage your quads, your abs, and let's do this hard and somewhat fun pose. Lift the hip a tiny bit up, and then lower down in what I will call your natural plank, and then a little bit lower than your natural plank. And there, you move up and down. I hope you feel this. If you don't, maybe you need to reconsider how you engage your core. Keep moving. Now my breath gets a little bit tired. Awesome. Knees down. Sink back in your child's pose. Arms down by your feet. Draw your hands against the top end of the mat. Lift up and down dog. Shake any tiredness out any way you want to. And then come to the top of the mat again, jumping or walking. Fold forward. Reach up into high mountain. Palms together. Prayer pose in front of your chest. Again, toes and knees together as much as you can. Other side. Sit down. Now notice your knees here. They're probably aligned with the short end of the mat. And when we twist, one knee tends to drop out way more than the other. And this is concerning the hip. So we want to try to take the hip somewhat still aligned with the short end of the mat, even though we're moving our shoulders to the other side. Go low in your seated posture. Squeezing your inner thighs firmly together. Breathing with gratefulness. Two more breaths, okay? Go low if you don't feel this in your thighs. Awesome. Hands down, stretch your legs. Oh, that was great. Now you can get a little more distance in between your feet, that half moon thingy. Left leg up, bend your knee and throw your knee out almost like a three-legged dog with hip opener. All right. Lift up your chest. So you might find balance. Your hand might reach over. See if you can find. You might fall, I do. Take a look at the floor and see if you can get it. Again, play with it. Like a kid, playing and learning. Shoulders somewhat stacked on top of each other and hips also. Release both hands down. So you have stabilized your hip as you move your foot back. Warrior two. Align the back foot with the top end of the mat, or the back end in this case, with the back end of the mat. And sink down. Standing tall, navel in. Smile on your face. Sometimes smiling here in the face can help the smile inside. Not fake smiling, but just saying, I want to smile. So let's smile. All right, core in. And let's lean back. Again with those arms completely aligned as much as we can. Still bending the front knee quite a bit. Going forward. Make sure your shoulders stay aligned with the heels. One more time, back and forward. And remember to breathe. And listen into your body so you don't do anything. A lot of people that really love power yoga, a lot of us are just used to, giving it our all and just going the full length. But here, we want to listen. Yeah. Take your hands down at the top end of the mat and step back. Down dog. Shake out. Okay, another version of plank. You might take your hands a little bit closer towards your feet, so it's just a little bit easier. Then bend your knees and hover the knees over the floor like you were in tabletop. Hip width distance in between the feet and the knees. Hands shoulder width apart and small micro bend in the elbows. Flat back. And keep breathing. If it's not too good for your wrists, elbows and regular plank on elbows. You can do this. Stay with me. 2 more breaths. That's great. Shake your wrists. A few more standing postures. Right leg extended up and throw it to the top end of the mat. High lunge. Again, you can get however wide distance you want here on the mat to create that strength, but try to close the hip, feeling that your inner thighs is again a little bit squeezed together without the knees coming in towards each other. That's not the point. So, let's go for a swim. Are you ready? I want to swim in Thailand. Leaning forward with your arms above your head, really firmly pushing through the front foot. And then take your arms back, up by your side. Don't need to reach the palms together, and then throw your arms out. Almost like a swimming movement. 4. Might breathe. Inhale as you draw your hands to the front. Exhale as you draw them back. Almost there. Last one. That was a little bit more than I promised, but hey, let's go with it anyway. All right. Step it back. Down dog. Vinyasa flow. Now, if you want to play, you might take your right leg up and join me into a plank with one leg lifted. Exhaling as you lower down your chest, both feet on the mat. Cobra up dog. And your down dog. Let's repeat. Left leg with the lunge pose to the front. Lift the back heel up. Make sure you kind of stabilize yourself before you reach up so you don't get all wobbly on the way up. As much as you can. Okay, catch your breath. If you're still use your Ujjayi breath, get that going again if you lost it along the way. Core a little bit in, leaning forward, hands reaching forward, and then arms out to the side. Inhaling, palms to the front. Exhaling, draw your arms out. Now remember, this is about your shoulders. Feel it behind your scapula, shoulder blades. Great. Keep moving. 3 more. And not too fast. Navel in. 2. Almost there. 3. Or 1. Step back, down dog. Let's do a lion breath. Remember that one where you throw your tongue out and just exhale out. You know, lions, they roar. And maybe we can roar of praise as well. So maybe a repeat. Beautiful. Left leg, if you want to do Vinyasa with one leg extended, lift it up, come to your plank. Exhaling, lower down, elbows by your ribs. Inhaling, cobra, up dog. Exhaling, your down dog. Almost there. Just wanted to have a little bit more core strength. So move to plank. Down on your belly. And here we stay for just a little bit. We're not going to swim again. We're going to be almost like shot out of a cannon, I call this. So drawing your shoulder blades back and together, lifting your hands up, and then maybe your legs. And then you can do a little bit of movement here. If your hip is not sore from laying on a thin mat, maybe arms a little bit out to the side, legs as well. Together again. Let's do 5. Really good for your glutes, this one. And back. 3 or 4. 3. 2. 1. Yeah, stagger your hands, forehead on your hands. Coming back to our verse with Thanksgiving, maybe just saying thanks for being able to move and breathe. Tucking your toes under, hands on the mat. And let's see if we can jump and cross the legs here. If you're used to jumping through, you can try that. That's a little bit of fun. I'm not sure I can do it, so I'm just playing with you. This is just a matter of fun. So of course you need to have some distance in between your feet. You need to, or your hands, you need to draw your legs towards your hip as you kind of jump through and sit down. Not so beautiful, but anyway, boat pose was where we were going. So core involved. And then of course you can stay here, or if you want to go for a little bit more, sit down or almost lay down and come up again. And let's do that with me counting, if I can. Counting down from, let's say, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hovering up again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe. One more time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was awesome. So do anything you need to let go of tension. You might feel in your lower back or in your hip flexors. All right, move your legs back, down dog yet again. So getting a little bit of strength into our shoulders. So you want to do a short down dog. So I step just one foot closer, so I'm more in a peak in my down dog. Right hand, see if you can reach down and just touch your toe or even grab your ankle. Now, it's very easy to lean your hip out to your left side as you grab your left foot, but try to avoid that. Push your hand, the left arm there at the top, really firmly down, gauging the shoulder blade and maybe looking underneath your armpit. Breathe. If you want to go for a deeper twist, you can even take the outer edge of the ankle. One more breath. And release. Now, some of us don't have a great time having the head down too long, so maybe you want to lift up a little bit before working your way to the other side. So you just choose. If you're ready, grab the ankle, outer edge, inner edge, twisting. So you kind of pull this left shoulder further down as you hold here. Again, notice if your hip leans out to your right side this time, and adjust it so that your feet and hip are somewhat over each other. Push down through the right front hand. Gauge all the muscles in your arm, your shoulder. Last breath. Release. Walk your hand to the top end of the mat. Fold forward and shake your wrists. And maybe you want to sway from side to side also. Then move into mountain pose. And of course, can't do a power class without really playing a little bit with arm balances. So if you have one that you specifically want to practice, now is your time to do that. But let's just get a bit of a back bend going, because we've been doing the other way quite a bit now, and then do our handstand. And this will be side crane today. So leaning back, holding your lower lumbar spine. Using your core to lift up. Okay, so side crane. Now, remember how we were standing in our chair pose. Let's repeat that. So your feet and heels and all of that is somewhat together. I'll step a little bit back to make space. And then you take your hands here on the side of the mat. Now, I'll be standing so my hands are aligned with the short end of the mat, like this. You bend your knees quite a bit. Squeeze those knees together. And then I'm going to show you here from the side. So, as you lean down, this arm, take a hold of the knee. Okay? This elbow, take a hold of your hip. And this is where you're carrying yourself when we lean over to our side crow or crane. So, hands down, looking a little bit to the front, leaning forward. So this is step one, feet on the mat, just finding the right position for carrying your body weight. And then maybe you can lift your feet off. Hovering here, smiling, falling down. And you can try both sides and just play a little bit with it. Maybe you have a favorite side like me. So be mindful about knee injuries or anything that might be, not really helpful. And remember to keep breathing, not looking underneath yourself, okay? Don't take a head here. Look a little bit to the front. Bring a pillow, if you pause the video. Bring a pillow underneath your face if you're afraid of falling. I've actually never seen anyone fall in this one on their face, but just if that's, stopping you from trying. And keep playing with it, or whatever pose you like to play with. I think there's also a version called the flying eagle where you actually extend your legs out and see where that is going. Woo-hoo! Awesome. If you feel ready, find child's pose. Tired in your body, your mind maybe from doing all these different poses. Sit on your mat, just a few stretches, and if you want to find resting pose after this video, I would really encourage you to do that. So sit on the mat, feet out, legs out, toes pointing up, sitting bones on the mat, and then maybe leaning forward somewhat. If your toes keep falling in, you might even take your hands out and keep them just lined up with your arms or hands. I just want to come back to that verse again. Also with yoga as a Christian practice. So I truly believe that we can take the modern postural yoga, which is very different from yoga as it was just 100 years ago. But it's another story. Let's take those postures or use them and use them as a gift of praise and a gift of thanksgiving. Let's baptize the postures. For some, that phrase makes sense. Now, if you're still seated here, sit up. Take your right elbow on the inside of the thigh. Reach your left arm over. And go for a side stretch. We won't be here for that long. Sit up again. The other side, leaning down. And things in our world might become bad or might become kind of an idol for us. Maybe it's food that is controlling our lives, and we actually come to see food or exercise or clothes or career, whatever, as a bad thing. It's something taking us away from God. But all of these things are not bad as such. It's about your attitude towards them. Do you go towards food and exercise and all of these things with gratitude that they are a gift given to you, not something that is just yours, a gift given to you? So sit in a comfortable seated position, or if you want to go for a resting pose, you can just come down on your mats and relax. And I'll read the verse just one more time. And maybe ask God and say, is there anything you want to tell me as I read it? For everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving, because it is consecrated by the word of God and prayer. Thank you for sharing this power yoga practice with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you want to maybe revisit it again if you feel like you need to praise and just move your body. Thank you so much from my heart to your heart. Before you close the laptop, thank you so much for helping me reach out with Cross Yoga by you subscribing, liking, leaving a comment. Every single person counts here. So thank you so much for taking the time to help me offer you free yoga also in the future.